What's going on, everyone? So I'm looking at a stock today, and I have some requirements for my stocks. And my requirement is one, it has to pay dividend, two, it has to be good growth, and three, it has to be financially stable. And comment below if you want me to add anything else, or I should look at something else on these, and like and subscribe to my videos. So what do I look at whenever I'm coming to this stock is it is a corporation responsibility or VICI stock, and it is a as an owner valuable real estate over the stockholder. So this is a gaming and resort REIT. So the portfolio, let's look at real estate. It has 54 dynamic gaming destination, 39 other experienced property, and 4 championship golf course located across the United States and Canada. So it looks like it has a good portfolio for entertainment, and it might have a good return. I haven't looked into it, but it has a good amount portfolio across the nation. Now the portfolio is comprised of 127 million square feet, featuring approximately 60,000 hotel rooms and over 500 restaurant, bars, nightclubs, and sport clubs. And its properties are occupied by industrial leading game, leisure, and hospitality operation under long-term triple net lease agreement. So it has a good portfolio. So just let's go into the stock and see how well it does. So the stock, let's look at the 1 month. The 1 month it grew 6.20%, which for a month that is pretty good. For 3 months it was down 2.96%, which kind of makes sense. So let's look at the year to date. The year to date 7%. Now 7% plus 5.53% will give you about a 12% gain a year or year to date, and a 5.3 will give you 5.53%. So that gives you a 10% gain or possibility a year, or 5.8% gain. And 3 years is in the green, so that's good. 5 years at 11%. So it looks like it did not grow that much in the 5 years, but it hit a big spike and increase. So okay. So it pays a 5.53% dividend yield. That is a really high paying dividend. So let's look at the finance real quick. So it doesn't have anything in the 2024 because they're probably analyzing it. But look at this. The gross margin is 99.25%, and operation expense is 6.87%. And the operation income is 92.38, with a net profit of 70.73%. That is a really good profit range. So very stable company, very good to look at for the situation. Now we could look at the quarterly, see how it's going, and it looks like it stays above 60. So for the finance part, this is a very, very stable company, and it looks like it'll do very well. So let's look at the company, see what's going on. And only one person sold, and it's Edward, let's see, Bolton. I can't even say that name. But let's see who sold. Is he on here? I don't see him on here, but he's the only one that sold 20K, and it looks like no one is really selling. So that's a good news for us if you want to purchase a stock. Now, let's go into, okay, the insider already looked at that one because dun 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 dun. The analysts do say this is a buy, so it's not a surprise there. So should you buy this stock? Well, let's look at the AI and see what it is and if I agree with it. So the AI say it's 3 out of 6 for evaluation. I agree. It's about 3 out of 6. Looking at the market cap and average volume, earnings 3 out of 6. You know, I would disagree. I think the earnings a little bit better than um, most I've seen. The growth is 3 out of 6, which I agree. And then the performance is 3 out of 6, which I agree. It's about average. And then the health is 2 out of 6, which I kind of can agree if you try to predict the market, but because this is in entertainment, and if we hit a recession, they're going to be hit first. So this might not be a good stock to buy this year, but it looks like it is a good stock to buy. Now, let's look at the news real quick, see if any bad news came out. No, I don't really see any bad news about it. So, after looking at this stock briefly, just know that personally, I think this is a good stock to add to your portfolio for most people. Why? It's a has a pretty good growth of 11.12% for 3 years, 5 years, and a good decent growth at um 1 year. So if you think about it like this, it's growing about 11% every year, because if you add the 5.3 with 5.53, that's about 11% growth. And if the S&P grows 10% every year, guess what? You grow an extra 1%. So this is a slightly above average portfolio or dividend stock. And most people should add this because it's not that risky. And the stock is pretty reliable. And if you go to the projections, it looks like you have a 90% chance of it going up a little bit more. So let's go into more detail about this stock. Who should buy this stock? So I think most people should buy this stock, and here's why. It has a good growth opportunity, a stable growth opportunity, and about 10%, 11% a year, keeping up with the S&P. Two, it pays a dividend of 5.53. So people in retirement or people who wants to live off of dividend income, you got a 5.53% dividend, which is a very high yield dividend. And three, it has a very good growth or good finance. Now, what will I do about this stock? Well, first off, disclosure, I will not be buying this stock. Now, yes, I agree with the 5.53 dividend is really good. And then I also agree that the finance is really good. But I'm looking for a really, really good growth stock that gives me a little more than 11%. I'm looking for more about 13 for 14% growth stock on my dividend for it. And I'm willing to take less on the dividend payout. So I'm looking for more of the growth opportunity. Yes, this is good growth for a dividend paying stock, but it's not a great one. So I remember I have requirements, and this barely misses my requirement. So I will be keeping an eye on this stock, because if it starts pulling better number, having better growth, I will purchase the stock. But right now the numbers is right there on the edge, and it's not worth adding. And I can't add every single stock on my portfolio, even if it looks good. I had to be very specific on it. And everyone should do this with their portfolio. Just because something looks good, does it meet all your requirements to the T? If it does not, do not add it to your portfolio. Why? Because you have to diversify your portfolio, but you don't want to add every single stock to your portfolio and diversify too much. So I am trying to find the top stocks to add to my portfolio and not every stock, if that makes sense. So I'm only trying to add about 20, 30 stocks to my dividend portfolio and spread out the risk that way. Not 100, not 200, because that's just too much. and I might only do 20 and spread it out that way, but I need to find those 20 stocks first, and then after I find those 20 stocks, I will then start swapping out them for better ones, and or ones that aren't performing as well, I'll remove them. So that's the whole point about building a dividend portfolio, is I need to get my foundation together first, and once I get that foundation together, I will put it up on YouTube so you can see what 20 stocks I picked, and I'll go over the reason at that time. So this is still a journey trying to find more stock to add to the portfolio. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to my video.